In this video, I'm going to give a movie review of The Accountant. So I was walking in the grocery store the other day, and I saw a big display of DVDs selling the movie The Accountant. Since we talk about accounting on this channel, I thought it would be fun if we did a movie review of The Accountant. Now, The Accountant was a film that was released in 2016, starring Ben Affleck as an accountant. But this isn't just any accountant. This character is an accountant slash hitman kind of character. So the movie is this fun action-adventure film centering around accounting. Now, the female accountant character in the film is played by Kendrick. And I don't know all the other movies that she's been in, but in this film, she is incredible, believable, relatable, engaging, and she just does a fantastic job. I hope she does more movies. So overall, I thought this was a fun movie, but as an accountant, I do have a problem with the film. To understand what's really going on here, you need to know a little bit about film history. And so what I want to do is I want to go back and take a look at how accountants are portrayed in films. So let's go back and take a look at the original Ghostbusters movie. In the original Ghostbusters film, there was an accountant character played by Rick Moranis. And this character, it was a funny character. The character's socially awkward. He throws bad parties. He can't dance. Let's move on to the film, The Untouchables. And The Untouchables has two accountants in it. The accountant for the cops and the accountant for the mob. But the accountants have some similarities. Both accountants wear glasses. Both accountants have this kind of nerdy personality. So let's move on to Midnight Run, starring Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. And this is a buddy film where Charles Grodin plays an accountant. And again, he's this socially awkward character, and there's this back and forth between him and Robert De Niro throughout the movie as they're running away from the FBI and running away from the mob. I can keep going through the years, but what I think you'll start to see is you'll start to see a pattern of how Hollywood likes to portray accountants. And what you see is this stereotype where accountants are nerdy and socially awkward. And it's this negative stereotype of accountants that I want to address, because it's really just not true. It's not really representative of what accountants really are like. I work with accountants all day long, and they're nothing like that. Accountants are dynamic, passionate, engaging people. I mean, to do accounting, you can't be socially awkward. You have to be good at interacting with other people. And so this stereotype that keeps showing up in movies is really not very realistic. So let's bring this back to The Accountant that came out in 2016. Now, you might be tempted to say that, hey, doesn't this break the stereotype? Here we have an action movie where the main character is an accountant. Hold on a second, because when we look a little bit closer, something else is actually going on here. So here we have the main character played by Ben Affleck. And when we look at this character, it's actually the same Hollywood stereotype, just taken to the extreme. The character is so socially awkward that he has mental disorders. He's so socially awkward to the extreme that he has no relationships in his life whatsoever, not even with his family. He has so many difficulties interacting with other people, so much so that he goes around killing everybody. What this film is just taking the Hollywood stereotype to the extreme. Don't take this as a completely negative review, because I did enjoy the film. And if they make a sequel, I am definitely gonna go see it. And it's more than that. You know, I do have to say, I do personally admire Ben Affleck as a filmmaker. If you look at some of the stuff that he's done over his career, he's done some really incredible shows. And interestingly enough, I actually worked for Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's production company. And this was so long ago that I forgot about it until I started making this video. And then I was like, oh, hey, I used to work for these guys. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck used to have a production company called Live Planet. And I don't know if the company is still around. Back when I used to work for them, I was an intern, and this was when I was an undergrad in college. The reason why I went to work for this company is because at the time, they were making some really cutting-edge stuff. They had a show, and you might remember this. It was called Project Greenlight. And it was a very successful show. I forget what channel it was on. They also had another show that they made called Push Nevada. Now, Push Nevada was picked up by ABC. And the reason why this is relevant is because Push Nevada also centers around the main character of an accountant. And so it's interesting to contrast the accountant in Push Nevada with the accountant in the movie The Accountant in 2016. Because it's my understanding that Ben Affleck was deeply involved in the creative process, just like he is with all of his projects. And when you look at the character of the accountant in Push Nevada, it's very different than the accountant in the 2016 film. And in Push Nevada, this was an incredible show. I mean, this show was so far ahead of its time. I mean, there was this whole social media aspect to it, and this was before social media was even a thing. And the story is very deep and very complex. And the character of the accountant is also complex, and he has this emotional character arc that's very relatable and very compelling. The show, actually, it didn't have very good ratings, and I think the show was too far ahead of its time. ABC actually canceled the show after 7 episodes. And, I don't know if you can still find Push Nevada out there on Netflix or something, but if you can find it, I highly, highly recommend this show. In fact, it's my understanding that ABC has locked away what happens in the final 6 episodes of Push Nevada. I think that we as an audience of accountants should demand that ABC release these secret 6 episodes because I found that character of the accountant so compelling that I want to know what happens. I don't want to get too distracted here. So I want to bring this back to the film The Accountant in 2016. And I want to end this video on 2 thoughts. First, I have a message for Hollywood. Stop writing stereotypical accounting characters. It's just lazy screenwriting, and accountants are so much more than that. My second message is for accountants. Don't buy this message that Hollywood has been trying to sell you for decades now about what accountants are like. Because Hollywood is telling you that accountants are nerdy, that accountants are socially awkward, and the reality can't be further from the truth. Accountants are dynamic and engaging and passionate people who go into their office every single day and fight to make their companies and the world a better place. And I want you to listen to me very carefully here. Don't believe Hollywood or anybody else who tells you anything different. So, this was my movie review of The Accountant. I hope you enjoyed it. This is just my opinion, so if you have a different opinion, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, click on the subscribe button down below. I release a new video every week on accounting and corporate finance, so come back and check out next week's video.